Hello YouTube, welcome back to CPO Pest Control's YouTube channel. Today we are talking about fleas and ticks and how we get rid of them. Let's get started. Alrighty, thanks for checking out CPO Pest Control's YouTube channel. As we said in the description, we are talking about fleas and ticks today and how we, more importantly, get rid of them. So it's summertime here in Southeast Texas, and as with summertime comes a whole bunch of problems. And along with those problems, with warmer temperatures and it raining as much as it does around here, we are struggling with fleas and ticks this season. Now, we thought that because of this past year's major freeze storm that we would have seen a decrease in the flea and tick population. However, that just doesn't seem to be the case this season. We seem to have seen a increase, if you will, in the level of population in fleas and ticks. Now, fleas and ticks, though you can have a problem, you can have one of those problems. You don't have to necessarily have both of those problems in your yard at the same time. They do they do flourish under the same circumstances. Let's begin by talking about that first. So what brings a flea and tick problem to your doorstep, whether it be your home or your commercial place of business? So fleas and ticks require a host. They require a body. They require something to transfer from point A to point B. And point B being your home, being your residence, etc. And so what happens is, a lot of the times, this host is our pets, right? It's Fluffy, it's our cat, it's our dog, sometimes even a horse, right? And so what happens is these fleas, these ticks latch on to these animals. We let our animals loose in the yard, we let them play inside the house, and next thing you know, we're dealing with fleas and ticks. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because both of these insects carry with them diseases, right? Fleas and ticks often are found on dead carcasses. They're found on possums. They're found on armadillos. They're found on all sorts of things. So just imagine, if you will, we have a animal running loose with fleas and ticks, and that animal's hanging out in the garbage. It's hanging out in the sewer. It's hanging out in the sewage system. And then all of a sudden that animal, comes in contact with your yard and shakes and scratches off some fleas and some ticks. And the next thing you know, you have fleas and ticks in your yard. But not only just fleas and ticks, but you have fleas and ticks on an animal that has the propensity to carry with it diseases, right? Which is a problem for you and for me, right? So the next question is, well, how do we get rid of a problem like this? Well, here at CPO Pest Control, we use a very aggressive module, if you will, at getting rid of fleas and ticks. So what we do is we spray the entire front yard, the entire backyard, covering it from one end to the other. The reason why we do that is because both fleas and ticks, like I said, they're transferred by a host. They're transferred by a dog, animal, kitten, whatever. And what happens is these animals will rest in your yard, right? Your pets will rest in your yard. A lot of the times this time of year, dogs are digging holes to put their face into cooler soil, right, to try and cool down. And so what happens is they're laying down in these certain areas, scratching off and shedding off these fleas and ticks, etc. And so that's why it's very important that we treat the entire yard, right? And then secondly, what we do, a lot of homes today still have carpet. Now carpet functions the same way as your yard does. It's a cooler area. It's a breezy area, if you will. And fleas and ticks harbor there and nest there and flourish there the same way they would as if you had them in the yard. So very important. And what separates us from the competition is that we come on the inside and we then spray with a smaller pump, of course. We spray all of your carpet areas, rugs, carpets in bedrooms, carpets throughout the home. Spray all of those carpets because they function the same way as your yard does. So very important that we do that. And then, very importantly, that once we go out there the first time, that we are back there within 14 days to do a second free of charge retreatment for you. The reason for the retreatment is because, unfortunately, there's no pesticide on the market right now that allows for the pesticide to penetrate through the egg. So what happens is we go out there, we knock out all of the living, so to speak, fleas and ticks, knock those out, and then in between treatment number 1 and treatment number 2, we have eggs hatching. And so what happens is those eggs hatch, and then as they hatch, it's very important that we destroy them and defeat them before they themselves get to the age of maturity and start they themselves laying eggs and creating another generation. So if you will, it's a 2-generational approach to this method. Now, like I said, the retreatment is already included in the initial treatment, and so no need to worry about charge. All we need to worry about is setting up that additional calendar date. But call us, okay? Call us at 281-683-6737. If you're having problems with fleas and ticks, please do not struggle with this problem alone. Do not buy things over the counter. That's just going to aggravate the situation even more. Call a professional. Call a trusted team. Call CPL Pest Control. Again, that's 281-683-6737. We look forward to your call, and thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Thank you.